Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Joel.
I'm Matt.
I'm Lauren. I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Megan.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys. And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We've got what looks to be a beautiful day on our hands. Now, last night, well, that was a little crazy. We had some pretty powerful storms coming through last night. They had said that there was the chance of tornadoes, and I don't think we got any in this area. We don't really see much of those. But the fact that the weather got to that point is kind of concerning. I'm hoping all the sweet corn is fine. We had some stuff thrown about here this morning, but we'll be back in the fields later on, so we'll be able to check on it. I'm not too concerned. I think we're gonna be just fine. But to get our morning started off right, we gotta get this farm market all set up and cleaned up. We've now got the farm market all set up this morning, but it's obvious that we're gonna need to do some picking. Matthew did go to the auction yesterday and was able to pick up some fruit, so we have fresh peaches, fresh nectarines. He was also able to pick up some donut peaches. These right here are called tangos because it takes two. You just can't have one. But anyway, farm market is all set up. Dad is on his way back from the wholesaler, and we need to get the rest of the chores taken care of. Well, I was planning on moving on to take care of other chores, but the girls informed me that we have an order for sweet corn right away this morning. So I'm gonna run back and start picking. I have a few baskets here in the side-by-side, but it's not enough. So I'm gonna run and grab some, and then I'll be on my way. Right before Joel and I left, Dad got back from the wholesaler, so he jumped in with us. We're just trying to grab some ears because there is a smaller order this morning, and we also just don't have any for the other customers. So we're gonna try and grab some sweet corn before we really get our morning kicked off. So we're doing it a little different today, mostly because we moved to a new section of field. As we move down a little bit further, the sweet corn has ripened up quite a bit. We do have to be a little selective as we're picking though, because this is a younger planting, but what we do see looks really good. Yeah. Now with harvesting sweet corn, there are a few different times where you can harvest it and it's actually easy to pull. Probably the best time is early in the morning or right after a rain. That's because the plant is loosening up and doing its best to pull in as much moisture as possible, which makes it a lot easier to pull ears off the stalk. Now the worst time to do it is in the middle of a hot summer day. Man, this sweet corn does not want to let go of the ears. But again, that makes sense because the sweet corn is trying to maintain moisture, so it tightens up its leaves really tight and it just won't let go. That's why it's usually best to pick in the morning or after a rain because it's a lot easier on you. If you're picking on those hot, dry days or in the afternoon, which we have to do in summertime, it can affect you. It really does start to wear out your arm. But by that point, we're starting to get used to it so it doesn't wear you out too bad. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. I was just looking for Dad. Yep, he's got our last basket of sweet corn harvested. Now we are gonna be out here picking a little later on. We do have more orders, but for now we should be good. We just wanted to get some stuff back there early. I'll get your door for you. Thank you. Well, and there we have it. A full side-by-side of sweet corn.
Thing I think people never can get enough of is sweet corn.
Yeah, I love sweet corn. How much do you love sweet corn, Joel?
A lot, especially when you pick it fresh off the cob. It's sweet, it's good.
Well, let's get this stuff back to the farm market so the girls can sell it. $25 in here, Dad.
Okay.
So that should be good then for the order?
I need 5 more here.
5 more? I got it right here. There we go, boom. Order done for the morning. That's what we like to see. How do you fold this box? Oh, here you go.
On the phone.
You're on the phone?
That's a really big phone, Callie.
As you just saw, Daniel was grabbing some silage. He's feeding cattle. And once he finishes off with that, the animals will be taken care of for the morning. And then Joel also brought the side-by-side and the wagon over to our stack of bins. We need to get a bin of corn and a bin of cabbage today. So that's gonna be the next thing we're picking. So we're just getting ourselves all ready to go. The only thing Joel had to grab was the tractor, and he's gotta put the forks on it. So that's what he's running to do right now. And I'm just making sure we're all set and ready to go with the side-by-side and the bins. Come on, come on, come on. Which seat do you want to sit in? Come on, well, come on, let's go. We are just about ready to go. We've got the boss with us. All we need is Dad. So once we have Dad, we'll be heading out to pick. We're leaving our wagon by the cabbage, and we're putting a bin onto the tractor. We're gonna go get the sweet corn first, and then come back and get the cabbage last. Right before we left the farm market, the girls came out and told us that they almost had no more sweet corn. So that stuff we picked earlier, it's all gone. But that's okay. That means people are excited about the sweet corn, which makes us excited. I think our bin's full. Get your fingers out of my mouth. We are all finished with pulling sweet corn now, so we're gonna head back to the side-by-side. Then we need to get some cabbage. What do you like picking more, sweet corn or cabbage, Callie?
Cabbage.
Cabbage? Yeah, cabbage is pretty fun, isn't it? This is good. Now that we're all finished with the sweet corn, we need to get some cabbage. Now the interesting thing is we're not looking for really large cabbage today. We're actually trying to find some smaller heads. A lot of times when people want cabbage, they don't want a massive head unless they're doing sauerkraut or something like that. There is some people who want smaller heads that they can have for just 1 or 2 people, which is what we're gonna try and find today. And that's about it for cabbage and corn. We got a nice full bin of corn, and now we've got a beautiful full bin of cabbage. And you'll notice a lot of these heads are on the smaller side. That is what we wanted.
A bite.
Here, have a bite. You like it? We got everything pulled off the tractor and wagon and moved into the cooler. We were able to fill up a little bit, which is really nice for the customers. We still have a good amount of sweet corn in this bin. We also have an entire full bin of cabbage. So hopefully we won't run out today. Hopefully. We've made it out here to the fields again. We are gonna be picking some cucumbers. We are getting close to lunch, so I don't expect us to get them all picked this morning, but we're gonna see what we can get. So what we're gonna try and do before we head back for lunch is get 6 baskets picked because we have an order for a 3 bushel. So we wanna get the 6 baskets picked, get the cucumbers all washed and boxed up, and then we can worry about the rest of the cucumbers this afternoon. I'm picking through a low spot in the field where water gathers, and there is just water in between these rows. So you have to be really careful when you're picking the cucumbers that none of them are rotted out. But this is why we also have to wash them, because look at that. Ooh, dirty. So not only do we have water sitting here because it is a low spot, But last night with those storms that rolled through, we did get another inch of rain. So as opposed to the beginning of the year, there is plenty of moisture now in the soil and in the air. It probably would have saved us a lot of money if we had all this rain earlier on. We would not have to irrigate as much. But there's no point in complaining about something that's out of your control. So we have got the cucumbers that we need. We're gonna head back to the farm, get them cleaned up and boxed up. There's no point in complaining about things that are outside of your control. But we're not gonna let that stop us.
Andrew, get going. I'm tired of the complaining.
I wasn't even the one doing the complaining. Get driving, you heard him. We're now back with the cucumbers. We're gonna quickly run them through the machine. And while I do that, the boys are gonna box them. Now you're probably wondering where Joel and Daniel were as we were harvesting those cucumbers. They had left right after we got done with the cabbage and corn, and they got all set up for spreading manure. It's been pretty sloppy here on the farm, and that's been reflected in the pens. We've been bedding them up, but we've just had a tough time staying ahead of the moisture. So we decided we'd clean out the pens and give the cattle a fresh start. Now some of you may be wondering where they're spreading that manure today. Well, everything that we harvested where there was wheat, we also underseeded clover. So we're spreading manure on the clover ground. So the manure that we're putting on the underseeded clover is basically gonna act as fertilizer for that clover, which we will harvest in the upcoming spring. So from the manure that we're putting into the field and the clover, there's gonna be plenty of nutrients for whatever we decide to plant there the following year, whether it's corn or soybeans. Yeah, it's pretty amazing how spreading manure in, what month is it? July, August? It's amazing how spreading manure now can affect you in the next couple years, and that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to make sure that we can have the best quality crops and that we can use our resources efficiently. Alrighty, it is lunchtime on the farm. Let's see what we're having. Ooh, it looks like we have hot dogs and some leftovers. Sounds good to me. We're all finished with lunch now, and our first job for the afternoon brings us into the cooler. We have an order for 300 ears of corn, so yeah, we're probably gonna have to pick more corn today. But the first thing we're gonna be doing is getting that corn order together. So the order is for 300 ears of corn, which we now have got separated into a bin. They also need 2 boxes of cabbage and 2 boxes of cucumbers, which we're grabbing. All we gotta grab is the 2 cucumber boxes, which Matthew is gonna get, and then this order is good to go. Matthew's gonna deliver it, and Dad and I are heading back out to pick. Dad and I are now out in the fields to start harvesting again. We're gonna get started on the yellow squash, the yellow zucchini, and the green zucchini. We just wanna get the rows picked even. So we're just gonna get the yellow squash and the yellow zucchini and the green zucchini all picked up to where we stopped with cucumbers earlier on. There wasn't too much yellow squash there. We were able to find a full basket. Now we're moving on to yellow zucchini. We got just about 2 baskets of yellow zucchini, and now we're gonna be harvesting the green zucchini. Dad and I just got all the zucchini picked. Some of this stuff looks really, really nice. But this time of the year, a lot of people grow their own zucchini in our local area. So it can be a little difficult to sell zucchini this time of the year, but the stuff we have looks great and hopefully it'll sell. Now our next job involves these cucumbers. We are already out here harvesting a little earlier on for that order, but now we need to finish picking the rows, which is what we're gonna try and do. There's not near as many as there was last time, which is actually kind of a blessing. We had too many cucumbers last time. We took them to the auction. We did not get what we wanted for them. But hey, that's farming. If we have a lot of cucumbers, there's a good chance that a lot of other people do too. But regardless of what we got from the plants need to be picked, which is what we're doing right now. We've already got 6 half bushel harvested, and we'll see what else we can get out in these fields. Sounds like help is on the way. Cucumbers are now all harvested, so no need to worry about that anymore. However, the girls did call us and asked if we were gonna be coming home shortly, that we bring some dill along. When you start selling a lot of pickling cucumbers, you start selling a lot of dill because people are making pickles. So we wanna make sure that we take back 10 or so bunches of this dill. We decided before we head back to the farm market, we wanted to grab some green tomatoes. Not too many green tomatoes, just enough to fill a basket. And this is a good opportunity for us to kind of get an idea of how many tomatoes are truly coming on. As I was walking through picking green tomatoes, I tell you what, it's obvious that we're gonna have a great tomato harvest. As long as the disease stays away and we get a little less rain, then I think the tomatoes will be okay. So before we headed home, we were driving past the broccoli and we thought it would be a good idea to stop and grab some. That way we'll have plenty fresh for the upcoming weekend.
Look at that baby. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Now that's a basket.
We are getting into the later part of the day and we are starting to run out of sweet corn back at the farm market. So that means we need to head out to the field and pick a little bit more. We're hoping to get a bin and that should finish off our day. And it wasn't too hard finding sweet corn this morning and it shouldn't be too difficult now. Now if you remember, we talked about that storm that went through last night. Well, it knocked over some of the corn. And of course it's my corn. So I gotta pick it up off the ground now. Well, that is a beautiful sight. Another full bin of sweet corn. When I really think about it, we got a lot of stuff picked today. It just goes to show you that stuff is really growing out here. The weather we've been having, the moisture, it's all been conducive for a really good vegetable harvest. Well, everyone, we're at the end of the day. We just spent the last hour doing things here around the farm, moving augers around. We had to pull some corn out of the bin for grinding feed. And the girl said it was very, very busy in here today, which means we sold through a lot of produce, which is always a good thing. But now that we're at the end of the day, we are taking everything and putting it back into the cooler and closing up. Knock on the door. Say knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock.
Well, everyone, we are now up at the house, and as you can see, no dinner on the table, nobody's cooking. That's because it's date night. And since it's date night, that means this is where we're gonna end the videos today. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.